It is a brisk morning on the homestead. Last night I put the chicken waterers in the garage to see if I can keep them from freezing. I highly doubt I achieved that, but let's go check. Well, it did freeze, but just a thin layer at the top. Not bad. It didn't freeze solid like I thought it would. It's pretty manageable. The challenge though is I don't think it's gonna get above freezing in the next few days, so I'm gonna have to keep breaking this up or look into getting heated waterers. Temperature here in the greenhouse is noticeably warmer. It's actually pretty nice in here right now. You know, if you got a jacket on, of course. Oh no. Mr. Rabbit's waterer is cracked. We have an extra waterer for each rabbit inside. Our plan was for keeping them with water that wasn't frozen was just to keep swapping the bottles out as needed. But now we're down a waterer. It is really windy today, so I apologize in advance for any audio issues. But I have taken steps to try to fix the problem. Viewer Peoria Dude has pointed it out that there's been some audio issues with wind noise lately. And he has asked if there's anything I can do as far as getting a wind filter for my camera. So I looked into it and I found they actually do make a little wind filter for these little point and shoot cameras. I ordered one, it's coming from the UK, so there might be a little delay in getting it, but when it gets here, I'll gladly get it on there to help improve the audio. It's so nice in here, I hate to go back outside, but I hear Daisy calling for me. She needs breakfast, and I need to get the rest of the water. I like giving them their morning exercise. They seem to like it too. Well, I just made things a lot more difficult for myself. Last night I forgot to detach the hose from the spigot. I don't know if you can see in there, but it is frozen solid inside the hose, and the spigot the same. I can't even lift this up. It's just frozen. You girls staying inside today? Little buddy's out here crowing to tails.
You surprised me!
Little buddy and I just got to the farm store. We're gonna check out plastic rabbit waterers. Those don't break when it's cold. I don't like plastic and I try to avoid it whenever possible, which is why we got the glass rabbit waterers, but they're obviously not a really good solution for the winter, so.
Well, but and one broke.
Yeah, they did break. Yes, one did break. So, we got high density polyethylene. Hey little buddy, you wanna hold one for me? Thanks. This might be a good idea too.
Hold on, what is it?
This is a de-icer. That thing heats up the water in the sheep water tank. Keeps it from freezing.
I'm holding that one for you, Dad.
Thanks, buddy. The stock tank de-icer isn't gonna work for me right now. I brought it home, opened the box, and I started reading the instructions. And apparently I need a grounding rod to attach to the copper heating coils. I'm also not supposed to power it using an extension cord. I don't happen to have a spare ground rod laying around. And I also didn't have a power source out in the pasture. I was planning on running it with a long extension cord, which I guess is not a great idea. About a week ago, a viewer, Michael Van Tassel, left a comment suggesting putting a ball or some kind of floating device in the water. He said if you put a floating device in the water, football, tennis ball, whatever it might be, it will move every time the wind blows and keep the water moving, which reduces the likelihood of it freezing. With as cold as it's gonna get, I really don't know if this is gonna help or not, but I figure we should just give it a try. So I have a tennis ball here in a Ziploc bag. Let's see if it works. I had to dig part of that hose out of the soil. Some of it was buried in the ground under a little bit of dirt. This is hard as rock. I'm hoping with the hose in the garage it can thaw out a little bit. I checked the weather forecast for the next 15 days. We are not going to be above freezing. This certainly creates some challenge. It's not boring. My original plan for the day was to get these wood chips into the chicken corral area. These are the wood chips that I got earlier in the summer. After doing the wood chips, I was going to do one last paddock shift on the chickens for the season before moving them into the corral. With the ground being frozen, I'm not sure how easily these fence posts will stick in the ground. I also want to get this portable electric fence taken down and open up the whole corral area so the chickens can start working on the wood chips. Even though they're kind of frozen, they might be able to work them around a little bit. But dealing with the frozen homestead really occupied all of my time today. It was kind of unexpected. I mean, I knew it was going to be freezing last night. I hadn't been keeping an eye on the forecast. Ashley had told me that it was going to freeze, but I just assumed that the temperatures would come back up during the day and we'd get a thaw. And that's just not going to happen. So hopefully I can knock out some of these things tomorrow and we can keep moving forward. I put a garbage bag down on top of our little bench here right by our front door where we sit to put on our shoes, and put the chicken waterers and the rabbit waterers on top of it. This way they will definitely stay warm overnight and we'll be able to water the chickens in the morning.
This one's dirty?
Yes, that one is dirty. That is why we put the plastic down, so we don't get yucky chicken stuff on mommy's nice bench.